Now I'm going to transplant. So I create hole with my fingers in there, and then I bring out my plants this way. You put it in there that way, okay, and then we are good to go. Now if you still have some of the dry matter or the grass or the mulch around, you can just put it around. Now what it does is that it prevents the direct sunlight from shining on the soil for the water in there to evaporate. So the moisture in the soil is always contained by this procedure. So with this arrangement, you will surely get the result. If you water twice a day, morning and evening, you will surely get the result you are looking for.
Hi there, thanks for tuning in. My name is Jacqueline. Today we are visiting Mr. Ibrahim, who is a home gardener. He has some beautiful plants in his compound, and we are hoping this story would inspire you to also start planting or gardening. Stay tuned and let's take a tour of his garden. Welcome, Mr. Abu Ibrahim, to 88 Greenyard Farms.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, today we are in your home. We've seen that you are doing so many beautiful things here. There are tomatoes, there are peppers, cabbages. We want to take a tour of your farm and then inspire. We are hoping that it will inspire others to also want to go through this journey just as you have to.
Wonderful. Okay. So you're welcome to do Ekoyak Farms.
Okay.
So I will be your tour guide as we go through my farm.
Okay. Thank you. So let's go. I'm so in love with these tomatoes I'm seeing here, and I can't believe this is at home. I mean, you would usually expect to see things like this on a commercial farm. How did you achieve this?
All right, so the whole idea is how do we plant vegetables in urban areas?
Yeah.
And then we look at strategies that we can put in place to ensure we get the production we are looking for. So we decided thinking about, can we plant in buckets? Is it possible? We explored it, and this is the result we have gotten so far. So far, we have a number of tomato plants here, and the fruiting is so amazing. All in buckets.
Unbelievable.
All in buckets.
Yeah. So how old are these tomatoes?
So these tomatoes are a month and 3 weeks old.
Okay.
A month and 3 weeks old so far from transplanting.
Okay.
Yes, from transplanting, a month and 3 weeks old.
And what variety of tomato is this?
This is Rock F1. It's an indeterminate tomato plant, which means it grows upwards and it grows continuously. Okay. And you can harvest.
It's going to become like a tree?
Yeah, it's going to become like a tree. That's why we have to give it a support system so it grows along with it gradually, yes.
All right, so mention the variety again.
So Rock F1 or Rocky F1. So there are about 3 of these varieties in Ghana. There's Padma F1, there's Sultan F1, and there's the Rocky F1.
Okay.
All are indeterminate tomatoes.
That's beautiful.
That's right.
Okay, so how long before you do your harvest? Is this the first harvest or you've harvested some before?
So this is the first batch, actually. So this is the first harvest.
Okay.
So we are waiting for it to be ready for harvesting.
Okay.
And then we are good to go.
Okay. So tell me, why farming? Why home gardening? It could have been something else. Why did you choose to do this? Okay.
So in fact, the high cost of tomatoes on the markets this year is my greatest inspiration. One time my wife came back from the market and told me a box of tomato is 7,500.
Wow.
And I asked her, what am I doing in Accra? If a box of tomato is 7,500, then I can plant tomatoes and make some money out of it. But the challenge is I am in Accra. I'm working in Accra. I'm based in Accra.
Yeah.
So why don't I start something in this urban area, see how it works, and then we'll look at what we can do to either commercialize it or go further in making more money out of it. That's right.
So at the end of the day, the scarcity
was
led to you.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Exactly.
Okay, so I see that these tomatoes are very healthy. One of the challenges with gardening, both at home and commercially, are pests. Have you had any challenges with this?
So far with the tomatoes, we've had pest-free. I believe that the management practice also is helping us. Okay. So it's pure organic, no pesticide, no fertilizers. It's just having a good compost down there, and the job is just being done.
Wow. So this is like 100% organic.
100% organic.
That's interesting.
100% organic.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I've seen the tomatoes. I'm excited. I can't wait to see when you do your harvest.
Right.
You have to show me that.
That's right.
Let's go see the cabbages now.
Yes, and I can take you to the cabbage farm as well.
Okay.
So, welcome to the cabbage session. This is actually one of our products on the farm.
Okay.
These cabbages are actually in sacks. It's difficult to see the sack, but when I lift it, then you see it.
Yeah.
So they are all in sacks. Now the whole idea of getting them in sack, because cabbage when it grows is pressed out. So when you have them in sack, you can easily water the cabbage, and then you will get the result you are looking for.
How old are these cabbages?
So these cabbages are a month and 2 weeks old.
They are growing beautifully.
So nice. So nice.
And just as, is it the same as it is in the tomato case? No pesticides?
Yes, no pesticides so far. We are trying some organic pesticide like neem tree oil, neem tree leaves soaked in water, vinegar, and then baking soda to see how best we can raise them organically.
So it means that you've been facing challenges with these ones?
Okay, so technically cabbages do come with their own challenges. So it's the preventive measures that we are putting in place.
Okay, before that.
Before, exactly.
Okay.
Because we were treating the diseases are very difficult.
Okay.
So we want to prevent it.
So those are preventive
measures, yes.
Okay.
Preventive measures.
But why cabbages? I mean, I get that scarcity led to the tomatoes. Why cabbages then?
In fact, generally, vegetables in Ghana, we have scarcity generally. We don't have vegetables all year round.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the scarcity of the cabbage on the market also influenced our idea to venture into cabbage production. So I believe that when we see the challenges, then we find solutions to the problem.
Okay.
And that's what is inspiring.
I'm sure by the time I finish this tour, I'll find a bit of every plant here.
Exactly. You will find almost everything. As long as it's scarce on the market, we'll try and plant them.
Okay, but you've done so well. These are looking very beautiful.
That's right.
I mean, yes, I get it with the tomatoes to add these ones and go further to add other ones.
Yeah.
What is driving you to continue?
All right. So the whole drive is to get more Ghanaians involved in urban farming.
Okay.
Urban farming, exactly. Especially the youth of Ghana to know that if you want to farm, you don't necessarily need to go to the villages and be in dirty apparel like the pictures we have in mind. But you can also be a burger farmer or a craft farmer. As long as you have a little space, you can still farm something.
Okay.
That's
so
right.
you are trying to promote urban farming.
Urban farming.
Which is very good because I mean a lot of people out there would want to start something.
That's right.
Right? And then seeing that you are growing in sacks, not even in the soil,
in
and
sacks.
see how beautiful it's growing,
right.
That means it's possible.
Highly possible.
So if someone wants to come around to gain an experience training, do you provide that?
Yes, I provide training. I provide home services as well. So whoever is interested in learning how to plant these vegetables at home, we are there. We are available. You can come around to see what we have here, and then we can also do a follow-up in your home to see what you are doing.
If they want to search here online, what would they input?
All right, so Duet Koihak Farms is popular online. So we just
Duet
search for
Koihak Farms.
Koihak Farms.
Okay. I want to see the next section.
Yes, I'm taking you to the lettuce session.
All right.
Very beautiful lettuce session. All right, so you are welcome to our lettuce session, where you can see lettuce in buckets. Okay. So the magic is farming in buckets. So this can be done by anybody and everybody at any place. So you are welcome to our lettuce.
This lettuce is looking too fine, no?
So fine.
It looks ready for harvest too.
That's right.
So all of these for home consumption?
No. I believe that we can consume all, so we will be selling them out to make some few monies out of it, so that we can reinvest in there. So that we are going to sell them. Okay. So you can see we have enough here that we are going to sell them and eat some and sell some. Eat some.
So how old are these?
So these are 4 weeks old.
Oh, okay.
These are 4 weeks old.
Then it means it doesn't take long to.
No,
I mean,
as for lettuce, it grows very fast.
Yeah.
It grows very fast.
But did you encounter any challenges with the lettuce too, in terms of pests?
Okay, so far lettuce, we have not encountered any challenges with it. I don't know whether it's pest-free in this house, but I believe that the buckets is also helping because you can contain the soil, you can manage the crops in single buckets.
Okay.
Yeah, so far we have not had any pests so far.
Okay, but it's grown really beautifully.
So beautifully, so green and so nice, ready to eat.
I mean, at least for this one, you know where your plant is coming from.
That's
you
right.
know what has gone into it.
That's
Unlike others that we don't even know what kind of water that is being used to. I mean, water is no.
That's right.
This is so beautiful.
So beautiful.
I mean, when you wake up every day and then walk into a compound like this, no matter what the hassles are in life, this is so refreshing.
So refreshing. In fact, it's so nice to see yourself planting something small as a seed, growing up and it matures, and then you harvest. It's good for your mental health.
That's
it's very good for your mental health.
I even see that whilst you have the lettuce here, you still have some more cabbages.
That's right.
Hiding around.
So the first cabbages were in sacks.
Yeah.
So we have tried cabbages in buckets as well. So if you don't get sack, you can do buckets. So eventually you will get the cabbage you are looking for.
I mean, obviously too, in your compound, you don't have direct soil where you can plant in.
That's
so
right.
it's good that you've taken advantage of containers to planting.
Yeah.
All right. Can we move to the next section?
Yes.
What else do you have to show me?
So I want to show you habanero pepper.
Okay.
Habanero pepper.
My favorite.
All right, habanero pepper. All right, so let's move to the habanero section.
Okay.
All right. So you are welcome to our pepper section. These are the habaneros that we have tried in buckets.
Okay.
And so far we have gotten the success we are looking for despite some few challenges.
Yeah, I can see they are
with.
struggling a bit,
Exactly.
but they are resilient.
Oh,
so
yes.
How long have you had these peppers?
These peppers are a month and 3 weeks.
Okay.
A month and 3 weeks.
How have you been dealing with the challenges faced?
Okay, since we are doing urban farming, trying to be as organic as possible.
Okay.
But we are not getting our hands on the best organic material or the best organic products to use. So we are still exploring to see if we can get our hands on the best products to deal with these diseases. I believe pepper comes with all these diseases and this pests, but we'll get our hands on it.
So far, have you tried any, and then what are the results you experienced?
Okay, so we have tried usual neem oil, we have tried mashed neem tree leaves, and we have tried baking soda, vinegar, and salt. We have not gotten the results. So
even in the case of the neem oil?
Exactly. So the neem oil treated it for a period of time, and it's still coming back. So I believe that there is more to learn as far as the pepper production is concerned.
Okay. And the good thing about peppers is, even though you see them curling like this, they are resilient. So they find their way. And then once you are able to find the permanent solution, please tell me too, because I also have peppers in my house, and they started showing these signs.
Wonderful.
Okay.
And the beauty of it is that since it's not a commercial farm, it's for household.
Yes.
Though it's struggling from the
See how big it is.
We still have pepper on it that can support the household's feeding for as long as we keep them.
That's true. That's
true. So it's not a discouragement at all, but it's a learning process for us, and I'm sure we'll get our hands on it, how to deal with these diseases.
Okay. So these plants we've looked at so far, the tomatoes, the cabbages, the lettuce, the pepper, how long has it been since you started trying this urban farming at home? How long has it been since you started?
So altogether, I can say 3 months.
Wow.
Yes, altogether, just 3 months.
You achieved all of this?
Yes, in 3 months altogether.
Wow.
Altogether. So
that's impressive.
This is our first time doing it. We have never done anything like this before.
That's impressive.
Altogether 3 months.
Wow.
3 months.
I mean, how do you feel coming to see these things? I can see you do a lot of try and error. I noticed that around. How do you feel? I mean, waking up every day doing this, what is your motivation to continue? It's been 3 months. I don't think you're stopping anytime soon.
No, not at all. It's quite encouraging to see you getting results out of a series of failures that you've had. And I believe we have learned from our failures, and that's why we are having a number number of success so far.
Okay.
The inspiration is that we want to encourage a lot of people in the urban areas to be part of this, should I say, new era of planting vegetables at home, so that at least Africa being the breadbasket, we can see the reality of it in our various homes.
Yeah.
That's the whole inspiration for us.
Well, I am even more motivated to do more.
Yeah.
You are achieving this in 3 months. I mean, I have more time to also achieve mine.
That's right.
I'm going to do more.
That's right.
Please, director, let's do more at home.
That's right. So, so I want to encourage everyone who is interested in this. I don't have an agricultural background. I did arts in school, and then later did theology, first degree, and master's theology. So I'm nowhere close to agric.
And then you've achieved this.
Exactly.
Anyone who is, once you have the will to try,
that's right,
you can do it.
You can do it. You can do it.
I hope people, you are inspired to also start something.
That's right.
So, I mean, in 3 months, with all you've achieved, I know for sure that it wasn't a smooth ride.
That's right.
What are some of the general challenges that you were faced with when you started out?
Right. So one of the general challenges is how to balance the busy schedules of work with the gardening. So you have to wake up very early, earlier than usual, to take care of your crops and leave them and go to work and come back in the evening. And then the period you are supposed to rest or sleep, you are in the farm trying to check whether the crops are fine or not. Okay. So generally, incorporating this new routine into our day-to-day hustle is the major challenge that we face, but we've been able to overcome that.
Obviously.
And this is a success story that we have.
Okay. And like you are saying, those challenges, apart from that, was there any other you experienced? Apart from the time that you needed to commit to taking care of the plants, so are there any other challenges you experienced?
So far, no. Maybe what I would say is that when we started, it wasn't as smooth as we see it. We tried the tomatoes, it didn't work well. The nursery was a disaster. Yes, because I was protecting the plants from the sunlight. Because I thought the sunlight was too much for the small plants.
Okay.
Not knowing they were looking for sunlight, so they were moving like they were flying in the air until I got my hands on it, realized that the reason why they are moving some direction is because they are looking for something. And so when we were able to overcome that aspect of the challenge, then everything just followed one after the other.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. And then what are the successes you've enjoyed so far?
Okay.
Not necessarily money, but what are the successes?
So one of the successes I can talk about is the fact that it gives you a lot of fulfillment and satisfaction that you tried something and it worked. And then also when people got to know about this, you see people coming from all part of the country. They want to know what is happening there. Some people will call you and ask whether it is true or it is not true. And some are calling for assistance, where to buy the seeds, how to go about it. And it's been overwhelming. It's overwhelming. You can really tell that people are interested in vegetable farming, but you don't know whether it is possible or not. So the fact that I've been able to prove that it's possible in Accra or in any part of the country, that alone is a success story for me.
That's really good.
That's right.
You mentioned the nursery, right? I was going to ask you, do you plant your seeds directly in the containers that we've seen so far, or you nurse before transplanting? So far for the plants we have here, you have to nurse them before you transplant. Okay. So maybe I will take you to my nursery, so you see how it is done. Okay, let's go.
Welcome to my nursery section. This I hold in my hands, the nursery tray. Okay. So this is what I nest the seedlings in. Okay. And then when they grow to about 3 weeks, I transplant them. Okay. Yeah. So at this point, you can see that I have some tomatoes already nested. Okay. And they are growing up so nicely. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So the advantage of this nursery tray is that when you are ready for transplants, you can just pull the crop out and you have the roots intact and then it helps the plants to grow without struggling.
That's true.
And so that's one of the reasons why I use the nursery tray. So after that, then you transplant into,
Okay.
So you can see I have some habanero peppers nest here, and I have some carrots there. Usually we don't nest carrots, but I just try to see how it is going to work. So that's it.
Okay. So it's important to do the nesting. At least when you are transplanting, you know the seeds that survive.
That's right.
And then they can easily grow into bigger plants.
That's right.
That's true.
That's right. If you want to know the growth rate or the germination rate of the seed, you need to nest them in the trays. So that the ones that don't germinate, you can tell the percentage of the germination rate. So it's very important. And, you know, foundation is also crucial in farming. If you have the foundation right, you can get the result you are looking for.
That's true.
You can get what you're looking for.
All right. So, I mean, we've seen what you have here.
That's right.
I'm just imagining having something like this in my home.
Sure.
I need to start the tomato. This variety of tomatoes, you need to give me some.
All right.
Because I would want some of these. I already have tomatoes, but this is so inspiring, and I'm sure that others who are watching too would want to get in touch, to maybe want to visit you, or even talk more about what you do. So how do they get in touch with you?
All right. So when you go online, Duet Koihag Farms.
Duet Koihag Farms.
On all the social media platforms, we are there.
Okay.
On Google, you can locate us on the Google locator, on the Google map, Duet Koihag Farms, and we are there.
Okay. Would you want to leave a number, or that's okay?
Okay, I can leave my number if it's possible.
Please do.
All right. So for Duet Koihag Farms, you can reach us on 0247 938339. 0247 938339. On WhatsApp and all the social media platform handles, we are there.
Okay. People struggle with the idea that you can grow in containers. I mean, some wouldn't agree at all when you say that, oh, I'm planting in containers. They will tell you that the roots cannot go deep. It won't do well.
That's right.
Right? So it's a difficult concept for them. Some too would want to do, but they don't have good soil.
That's right.
Or the space in their home to be able to plant in containers. I noticed that as we were taking the tour, everything you had here was grown in either a pot, a container, or in sack.
That's right.
I mean, could you tell us, let's help people to understand that it is possible, why you are going down that lane and planting in containers? Okay.
So in most of the urban areas, they want to keep the beauty of the house. So it's either the place is paved or you have grass all over. So the whole idea is that we can still keep the pavement, keep the grass, and still plant our vegetables and get the result that we are looking for. So, but the challenge has to do with the knowledge as to how to arrange the soil in the bucket. It's not just pouring the soil in the bucket and planting the seeds, but there is a way you arrange the soil in the bucket to get that result you are looking for. And that is what we have done so far, and we have gotten the result, and we are ready to teach anyone and everyone how to do farming in buckets wherever you are on the surface of the earth.
Okay, so you can grow, you can plant in containers, and they will do well.
That's right, and that's what we have done.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be always in the ground if you can't afford to do it in the ground.
That's right.
It will work in containers.
It will work in containers, and even in the containers, you can do all year round. Because if you are planting in the ground, during the dry season, you will need more water. But in the containers, you need less water to get, because the soil is just confined in the container. As long as you can retain the moisture in the buckets, your crops are okay. So dry season, rainy season, you can still plant in the container.
Okay. So in your case, what makes up the content in the containers or the sacks that you are planting in? Can you show us?
All right.
Can one just go and fetch any sand, any soil, and then pour it in? Does it work that way?
No, it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
And it is also not a complicated system.
Okay.
what you need to do, you need to get a good soil. When I say good soil, it either has to be a loamy soil, and you can formulate the soil yourself. All you need is to get compost, and then you get black soil. You boost the soil with the compost, and then we arrange the soil in the buckets, one layer after the other. Okay. So I believe that it can be done. Okay.
So can you show me that?
So I'm going to demonstrate to you how to plant in a bucket. I'm going to use this old dispenser bottle. Okay. So you realize that I have divided it into two because I want to use both sides for the planting. All you need is a little soil that can hold the roots of the plants. And usually you look at the plants you are putting in there to determine the size of the container. Tomatoes, pepper, lettuce, cabbage. You don't need so much soil. Other plant that needs so much soil, you just have to increase the size of the bucket. So this is enough for tomatoes, this is enough for pepper, lettuce, and cabbage as well. All right, so we are going to demonstrate how to plant tomatoes or pepper, lettuce in this. So if you have a bucket like this, something that can contain soil, then you need to create holes under. Now the reason for the holes is to drain the soil of excess water. So you need holes under. So any tool that can help you to create holes under, you do so. And then what you need to plant, first of all, we need charcoal. This is the waste product of charcoal. It's available in anywhere that they use charcoal. Now, in the absence of charcoal, you can use stones. The reason is that when you put in the soil directly, as time goes on, the soil will block the holes that are supposed to drain the buckets. So the bucket will be flooded, and when it's flooded, your plants will be stagnant and it will not be growing. So you need the water to come out of the bucket from the bottom, and that is why you need the charcoal or the stones to prevent the buckets from flooding. So I'm going to use the charcoal. So I put in the waste product of the charcoal, just a little to cover the holes. Not too much, it's a little to cover the holes. Good. So we go this way, and then I put in my first layer of soil. So I have my first layer of soil on top of the charcoal. All right, so this is what brings out the result you are looking for. The first layer of soil on top of the charcoal. And then I will need some dry material to serve as compost. So I have some old grass, so I put them on the soil this way. Okay, so what it's going to do is going to help me mulch the base soil so that it doesn't become so dry that the plant will dehydrate, and it's also going to serve as compost, providing me with micronutrients. Then I top it up with soil. Okay, soil, and then I'm good to go. So this is just the process. It's so easy, everybody can do it, and you get the result you are looking for. So top it up with soil this way, and it should not be too full because you need the space up there to contain the amount of water you are pouring on the plant. So just this way, and then I think I'm done. So 90% full is okay. You leave the 10% space for the plants. Now I'm going to transplant. So I create hole with my fingers in there, and then I bring out my plants this way. You put it in there that way, okay, and then we are good to go. Now, if you still have some of the dry matter or the grass or the mulch around, you can just put it around. Now, what it does is that it prevents the direct sunlight from shining on the soil for the water in there to evaporate. So the moisture in the soil is always contained by this procedure. So with this arrangement, you will surely get the result. If you water twice a day, morning and evening, you will surely get the result you are looking for. In the next 3 months, you will see the habaneros growing, and then you will get the fruit and enjoy at home. So urban farming is possible. Farming in bucket is possible. Everyone can do it. Everyone can try it, and we can get the results together.
Ibrahim, we've seen how it's done in the containers. Is this the same process for planting in the sacks?
Okay, so with the sack, because the sacks have holes around it, you don't have to poke holes around the sack or under it.
Okay.
And then you don't need to arrange the soil with the charcoal under, because definitely the water will drain out.
Okay.
So all you need to do is to boost the soil with any compost or manure you need. You load them in the sack, and then you just transplant your crops, and then you are good to go. But there is one thing about the sack. When you put them on the bare floor and it rains, the rain is going to soak the soil. So if you are planting in sack, you ensure that you put them on something which is higher from the ground,
so the water can drain.
Exactly, drain, and then it will not be flooded by the rainwater on the floor. And that's the only secret with the sack. But anything can be planted in there.
Okay.
Right.
So I saw that you had cabbages in there. It means that if I wanted to plant tomatoes in the sack, it was possible.
It was possible.
Okay.
It was possible. So everything is possible.
Okay.
As long as you have something that will contain the soil, you can plant anything you want.
All right. So I mean, in this space, obviously the whole area is cemented. So there is nothing like planting in the ground.
That's right.
So planting in containers is the way to go. And then you have so much evidence here that shows that it is possible.
That's right.
So anyone out there who wants to try it, it's been done.
It's been done.
You succeeded.
That's right.
So that person can also start it.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're most welcome. All right.